Welcome to Our Region's Business with your host, Bill Flanagan.
Today on Our Region's Business, we're going to the moon and back. We're also climbing the corporate ladder through a new leadership initiative that's aimed at putting more African Americans in the C-suite in our region. Along the way, we'll meet the founders of a company that's come up with a better way for millennials to choose cruises. But first, our region's bid to put a museum on the moon. It's called the Moon Ark, and it's getting ready for launch in 2020. Mark Baskinger is project director. He's working with project manager Dylan Vitone and Matt Zywica, also a project manager with Moon Ark. And welcome. Good to have all three of you here. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And we should mention up front, all three of you faculty at Carnegie Mellon University,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about the Moon Ark and the basic idea behind what it is you're trying to do.
Yeah, well, as you mentioned, we're aiming to put the smallest museum on the moon. And we have a tentative launch scheduled for 2020.
Okay.
And this is the culmination here of a project that we started about 9 years ago.
And how are you going to get to the moon? How's the launch come about?
Yeah, so there is an astrobotics lander that we've been working closely with.
Astrobotics, a CMU spin-out, another Pittsburgh company working on the lander, right?
Yeah, incredibly, amazingly insightful, kind of thoughtful people that we've been working on, figuring out effective ways of attaching this to the bottom of the lander that will kind of live once all the electronics have died up there. And so kind of this beautiful kind of art/science kind of ode to humanity nowadays.
Yeah, well, a challenge. I know you're talking about payload in any kind of rocket. Every ounce counts. A real challenge to put a whole museum on a spacecraft that they're able to launch.
Yeah, it's really tough to begin to describe how we began with these ideas and then started to try to narrow things down to create some sort of a cohesive theme. And you know, even though there's only three of us sitting here, there's dozens and hundreds of people who have helped to contribute to the development of those ideas, and it results in this thing sitting right here.
And there it is. So what is sitting in front of us here? This is the Moon Ark, or a replica of it?
We designed and fabricated two twin Moon Arks. They are both space-worthy. The one that we intend to head to the moon in a couple years is currently on exhibition at the Carnegie Museum of Natural History, and there it's in stasis, just waiting. This is the touring version of the Moon Ark, and it's comprised of 4 chambers. They're about 2 inches in height. Each one has a different theme, and they exist independently on the lander, but they can be assembled together to form a sort of totem that carries a visual and physical narrative from the Earth chamber that we have here through the other chambers, and to tell a more complex and rich integrative story of humanity.
Okay, and I see glass. They look like glass discs. I don't know what they're made of, but on either end of it, yeah.
Yeah, we have 16 sapphire discs.
Sapphire discs.
Yeah, very similar to a watch crystal.
Okay.
And they've been machined down to 1/4 of a millimeter thick, and then they've been coated with platinum and then laser engraved. So we have rich imagery on each one at very high resolution. So if you were to zoom in with a microscope, you can see high detailed images here, or if you were to project them and blow them up, you'd get poster quality images projected on the wall.
Well, how did you guys and your team, whoever worked on this, come up with the ideas of what should go on this, what story you're trying to tell through the Moon Ark?
Yeah, we kind of figured out kind of early on, with the help of Professor Lowry Burgess, that we wanted one of the arcs to be about kind of life on Earth, kind of loosely abstracted about kind of life on Earth, and then the next capsule would be about the metasphere, kind of the space between the Earth and the Moon. The third one would be the Moon. You know, there's close to 110 poems from different cultures translated into different languages about the Moon, so we wanted that chamber to be about the Moon. And then the last one was kind of everything out there that we don't quite understand, so kind of the past the Moon, both physically and also kind of just mentally. And so kind of organized it, you know, from Earth to everything that we don't understand.
Pretty amazing. It looks like from the journals here you did a lot of this work on good old-fashioned with pencil and paper.
Yeah, just the same way that we teach at school a lot of our students. I mean, part of what we really wanted to have established was this physical object and that sort of tangible nature of humanity, where we come from, where we began, how we've evolved, and a lot of those ideas, they definitely begin on paper with us, just using pen, conversations that we have, and then they begin to evolve into physical models, which like we used foam core a lot, right? Cardboard, different things like that, until we start to maybe then determine what the materials are that we want to use or would be most effective within the resulting object.
Pretty amazing. Only a few seconds left, but I gotta wonder, you're sending a museum to the moon. Who do you hope's going to visit your museum?
This is aimed at future humans, but it's also a reflective piece for today. So this helps us question who we are now as a global society, a broader view of humanity, and what's the picture that we paint to illustrate where we are now, to project forward, raise those questions, and then whoever discovers it in the future might get some view about who and where this came from.
Really cool. Love to see it launching out of our region, the Moon Ark, available to see right now at the Carnegie Museum of Natural History, right? Congratulations. Well, so cool. Good luck with the project.
Very good. Thank you.
Thanks, yeah. Next up, from outer space to the big blue sea, a local startup that's making it easier to choose cruises. And yes, there's an app for that. Please stay with us.